Gentlemen and female gentlemen, LA is cooked by fire. Got him. So I made this joke at the beginning of my last video covering this entire LA fire situation, and I have to say, people on Twitter literally clipped it and said that I am making jokes about people suffering and dying. And to that I say, yes, that is exactly what I am doing. Continue, cancel me harder, daddy. Okay, nice try. You really think I'm gonna stop? You think I'm really gonna turn the burners down on this oven? Ain't no way, bro. I am only beginning, all right? I'm so sorry to everyone that died. I also have a sense of humor. My sense of humor is dark. If you don't like it, you could leave. Subscribe if you do like it. Hells yeah. So now the California fire situation is getting cringier. Now, I before covered all the conspiracy theories with all the, like the DEI hiring workers situation. The woke firefighter situation is insane, but the woke firefighter situation is even worse. It's unironically even worse. The actual firefighter guy released a video talking about why wokeness is more important than actually having strong firefighters. They released an apology video. The LA fire chief released an apology video, and it was bad. We're gonna dive into all of that, and it's very funny. But before that, I wanted to show you my very favorite political commentator, XQC. One of the biggest streamers in the world. He has like 100,000 live viewers on his streams. He's incredibly rich, incredibly famous. And every time that there's a big political situation coming, I immediately go to XQC to hear his ingenious take.
Have been injured during this little episode.
Wait, hold on. Chat, what if they, instead of putting retardant and hoping, why don't they just bomb the outer line? Like a line of bombs. Say, fuck it, we'll try a bunch of bombs, and when the fire gets there, it's just oil. So you take a line over here like this, right? You take a straight line, and you just fucking...
How we doing on fuel?
Why don't
Bro,
they just make it
a line of fucking bombs.
Yes!
Why is so big XQC?
Chat, actually explain chat why my strat of bombing would be bad. Bro, the United States, bro, they bomb everything. Why not just bomb fucking bushes and trees?
Fighters.
Bro wants to carpet bomb LA. I cannot believe what I just heard. He wants to carpet bomb LA to put out fires. Oh my god, bro. See, this is why every time I watch a political situation unfold, I immediately want to hear XQC's take. Definitely subscribe, because next time we are going to see XQC's take on solving the problem between Palestine and Israel. He actually has an incredible take about that. But that is not for today. That is for next time. Bro is built different. Wait till bro finds out about embers. Shut up, don't say anything. Let him cook. Let him cook. I put out fire with fire, literally. Anyway, with all that said and done, I wanted to get into this. Amala Obi-Wan Kenobi has made a video talking about the fire chief's response to this entire situation, and I really want to get into it. Now, I am here for chaos, okay? Now, I wouldn't cover the fire situation if it was just a tragedy, because if you're subscribed to me, you know that I am only giving you the tier best chaos on the internet of today. If you like news, but you also like chaos, this is the place. Definitely subscribe. Apparently, it is so insanely cringe. I'm so excited to see the police chief's response.
A lot about the Los Angeles fires on this channel, and there is so much going on, so many stories entangled in the much larger story. Of course, a lot of devastation and loss as people are watching their entire livelihoods being burned down.
Pretty fucked up. I wouldn't joke about that. Anyone that jokes about that is cooked.
But also a lot of stupidity, bureaucracy, and failure when it comes to the leadership here in this city. And of course, if we're going to talk about these fires, we have to talk about LAFD. Now, I'm going to show you a video that I think is going to blow your mind. And if it doesn't, I don't know what will.
I am so ready, bro. Oh, God. Bring out the ukulele apology, baby.
This is of an assistant chief. Her name is Christine.
Didn't they victim blame people who got caught in the fires? Dude, you are not ready for the amount of devastation you are about to witness, okay? All right? Listen, this woke stuff is incredible. And people think that if you say the word retard, it is a higher chance that you will die in a fire.
Christine Larson of LAFD, and she's talking about emphasizing the fact that she's a woman fire chief, and also how she would respond if she could not pull a man out of a fire.
Are you ready? Now, I would argue that pulling men out of fires is kind of the job for firefighters, right? Oh, dude, get ready.
We're gonna get into the other issues that the city is experiencing with this entire disaster that is taking place here. But first, you have got to see this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you.
Immediately, what are you talking about? Immediately, what are you saying? Is your house on fire? Are you about to die due to flames and smoke inhalation? Well, the first thing you're thinking of That person is not nearly as black or gay as I am, and I literally cannot even take him seriously when he's putting out my fire. Bro puts on her right shoe and immediately does a racism. Like, dude, this is why you're cooked. Did you see what I did there?
It gives that person a little bit more ease.
Does it really? Does it really give people more ease when the person is shit at putting out fires, but at least they're woke? Really?
Knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong?
What do you mean understand their situation better? They're on fire! They're dying. They're literally on fire. They're dying. Their house is burning. They're breathing in smoke. Their children are in the upper floors and they can't reach there because flames are in the way. Okay? They definitely want someone as gay as they are to recognize their plight and misery. What are you talking about?
Strong enough to do this, or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire.
All right, valid complaints. All right, complaints like maybe you can't carry my husband out of a fire.
Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
One more time. I'm just afraid you didn't catch that. Just one more time.
Understand their situation better? Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
What is literally the job of a firefighter? Like, I want you to pull my husband out of the fire. Skill issue! Get good, loser! Shouldn't have got yourself into the fire! Pussy! Oh yeah, what a loser, am I right? Got himself into a fire. What if he's unconscious from smoke inhalation? Who told him to inhale all that smoke? You think she's supposed to save you? You think she's supposed to save you? Oh, despicable. Someone explain to them what their job is immediately. This is insane. Like, I can't believe they actually put this out as a commercial. It's like they really unironically think it's more important to have diversity in the fire department than to actually have people that are able to pull people out of a fire. And what does this even mean? Does that mean that if you get a call, 911, my house is burning, they immediately look them up in the phone book, go to their freaking social media, make sure that they're gay or black or whatever, and then send a specific minority to their house for them to recognize them? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, dude, like this is insane. Like, I can't even imagine something is this pathetic. Like, would you even imagine something this pathetic could exist? When you pull yourself out of the fire, you put yourself into that situation in the first place. Oh my God, insane. They skipped over Trump supporters in the past on emergency response line. Don't tell me that's true. You have got to be, I'm not believing that conspiracy theory, sorry chat. What? Did you know the LA mayor has ties to communist terrorist groups? That is the least surprising news I've heard all day. Only about 5% of working firefighters are women. This is insane.
And then it closes out with only.
Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? Women W that they're not risking their lives, I guess. What are you talking about?
About 5% of working firefighters are women. You just made a great case for there being more. What did I just hear?
No, this is actually the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Wokeness. Why are you talking about wokeness? Well, wokeness doesn't kill people. Don't say the word woke. Yeah. Woke. This is insane. Forget woke. This is actual brain rot. Like, I've never seen brain rot this bad in my entire life.
Because this video is only like.
Do I think that if there wouldn't be woke, there wouldn't be fires? Obviously not. But I do think they would be more equipped. This is insane. During the election, the Red Cross director told them to skip Trump supporters. I can't believe this. During the hurricane response in North Carolina, what are you talking about? There's no way this is true. Okay, I'm gonna look this up because there's no way. North Carolina, hurricane, Trump supporters. Wait. Fired FEMA worker accused of skipping homes with Trump signs says she was following protocol. Dude, this is insane. I am shocked. I am shocked and I am appalled. That is insane. They got in trouble? Oh, really? They got in trouble for that? Holy crap, dude.
Like 25 seconds.
There's audio for that? All right, that's a deep dive for another day. Listen, this is the tolerant left, they call them.
I'm gonna play it again because I have to make sure that we all get this in our brains, that we all get to experience this together just one more time.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to
Oh, you have third-degree burns? Well, that's perfect, because I'm gay too.
Do this, or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
They say it like it's such a zinger. That is crazy. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, so much to go over here. First of all, when in your lives have you ever been in an emergency of any kind where you need help and support from the people around you and hopefully professionals around you and thought, I hope they look like me?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think another important thing that you should mention is the fact that they want more minorities in the fire department is ironic, because, you know, minorities are going to be relatable to a minority of people. Like, I'm just saying. That's insane. That is crazy. Holy moly.
You know, if I'm calling EMS right now, I hope the person who shows up is a biracial female who's the same age as me who can understand my marginalized experience.
I sure hope so.
No, never in my life have I thought that. And if you are somebody who's thinking that,
So do you want the best surgeon or a surgeon with Down syndrome that happens to also be a biracial black woman your age? I will take the latter, of course.
I urge you to reevaluate, because these are not the metrics by which we should be judging people who are providing services to us, especially.
This should not be the metrics you should decide anything. I think that obviously representation and stuff is good. All right, it's obviously good. It's obviously a nice thing. It's obviously it makes people feel more comfortable and more happy to be themselves and stuff like that. All right, sure, all that's great, but not at the sacrifice of skills. Obviously, no sacrifice of skills. Like, this is insane. Like, absolutely insane. Firing skilled people to replace them with unskilled people that might be the same race as random other people is probably the most ridiculous concept of all time. Like, actually of all time.
Especially life-saving services like putting out fires.
It's not life-saving if they shouldn't have gotten themselves into that fire in the first place, all right?
Never in my life have I thought, I hope that there is a biracial lesbian who's putting out the fires right now in Los Angeles, because I feel like she's going to understand some part of my experience.
100%. I completely disagree. All right? If my fire is not put out by a 6'1" Jewish white man, I am going to lose my mind.
Not a lesbian. I didn't just come out of the closet.
Damn, that would have been a crazy twist. Point taken, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Let's keep talking and let's get serious here. Now, she goes on to talk about having to save a man in a fire, responding to a fire call where she has to carry a man out, clearly indicating.
Nux, that simply doesn't happen. DEI hires are only accepted if they are proven to be just as qualified. Chat, let me explain something to you. You are objectively wrong. Okay? Because then you wouldn't need hires. You would not need DEI hires. Okay? The fact that there are DEI hires, it means that you are specifically giving more opportunities to people that are not white. Specifically. It prevents discrimination. It is discrimination. It is discriminatory towards white people. It is objectively, factually lowering the quota of white people you could hire. Now, if it was all about just actually getting the skill set, I am all for it. I 100% that everyone should have the equal opportunity based on their skill set. 100%. Like, literally 100%. But, dude, all right? I'm not trying to be rude here or anything. You think this person is equally strong as the guys? I don't mean to be rude, but you think this person over here is equally able?
To your
or this person?
house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call.
You think this person is going to be as strong, as powerful as picking people up and pulling out of people's houses? This lady? Like, I'm just asking you. The answer is no. Obviously, there are basic skill sets that need to pass. That is without a shadow of a doubt. People need to pass basic skill sets. But to say that it's equally skilled is just an objective falsity, or this system wouldn't need to exist. A bunch of fat women are as strong as a buff man? True.
Let's keep talking and let's get serious here. Now, she goes on to talk about having to save a man in a fire, responding to a fire call where she has to carry a man out, clearly indicating that she's not capable of doing so. And she says, if I'm in the position where I have to carry a man out of a fire, he's the one who put himself there?
True. It's his fault. It is all his fault. How dare he put himself in a room with a fire in it? Huge L, fat man L. Look up the motor recruitment determinant. Dude, you are missing the point. You are unironically missing the point that I am making here. If you're actually arguing this, there is no argument here. You should hire purely based on skill and competency. The end. Zero, nothing else matters. If you are sacrificing competency for diversity, then you are racist.
She's victim blaming men? Can you imagine anybody saying this about virtually any other thing? Just for a moment, imagine a police officer responding to a sexual assault victim and saying, you know, you got yourself in this position.
Oh, damn! Oh, no! Frick, it's over. Holy moly, yeah. Everything needs to pass that test. The test of just flip the roles and see what happens.
It's not on me to have to get you out of it. You put yourself here. It's ridiculous. But because we care about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we allow this to go on, and we allow something like this to be said by an assistant fire chief in a city that is consistently experiencing wildfires.
Oh my god, it's mind-boggling. You mean to tell me that in the city that isn't currently being engulfed in a wildfire, it is the dude's fault for putting himself in that position, and it should not be on the the person lifting them out? It's not the firefighter's fault. He's just fat. And I have never done a workout in my entire life.
Please make it make sense. And when you look into this woman's background, of course, you're going to find this. Now, this is out of the Daily Wire. Larson was a founding member of Equity on Fire.
Why does this exist? Oh my god! This is such an awful thing. This is unbelievable.
Of course, she was a founding member of Equity on Fire. Of course, she is somebody who cares deeply about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And she wants the firefighters to look like her and respond to the calls of people who look like her. But when she gets there and has an inability to do her job and she can't carry your husband out of the fire, I guess he's the one who put himself in that situation.
This is insane. This is insane. How is this a real job? How is this a real profession? Equity on Fire is basically what we could rename LA. Can we rename LA to Equity on Fire?
He's the one that brought about this situation that he's now living in. Now, if a man calls in the middle of the LA wildfires that we're experiencing right now, did he put himself in that situation to be somebody who's needing to call the fire department to save his life, to save his house? Of course not.
You are looking at this the wrong way. It's his fault for putting himself in the position where he could be in a fire. Okay, it is all his fault.
But this is what happens when we choose to just drop everything on the altar of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Everyone dances around this topic like it's fucking Jesus. Everyone dancing around this. Oh my god. This is wild, bro.
This is the world that we're going to be experiencing, and we've seen it.
No, we're not going to experience it. It's over. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Prediction for 2025, this stuff is going to collapse. All of it. All of it. In the gaming industry, in the government offices, because everyone thinks it's insane. Everyone that actually thinks about it thinks it's insane. I'll be honest. I'm sorry that someone in my chat does not agree. I'm not saying that there isn't racism in the world. Obviously there is, but the concept of replacing skilled people for less skilled people that happen to be of a diverse background is racism, and it makes no sense, and it will die because people are realizing that it makes no sense.
Time after time. And when you try to have the conversation and say, maybe this is not the direction that we need to move forward in, people call you out. They say that you're a racist. They say that you're blaming black women and lesbians or LGBTQ plus people. And
the lesbians are literally burning down LA right now. I think I'm not being hyperbolic enough. People on Twitter have been hoping. They say that I'm going down the alt-right pipeline, so I gotta make this clear, guys. I gotta make this clear. It's the lesbians that are directly murdering LA citizens. All right, I want to make it as clear and concise as possible, so that if it's taken out of context, people will really hate me. That's the goal.
There's no greater example of this than what recently happened on CNN when one of their hosts, Scott Jennings, tries to broach the topic of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
All right, let's go. I mean, even Meta, even Facebook, mega woke as they've always been. They literally backtracked this entire thing.
Let's see the clip.
Trump blames fires on liberals. Oh, God.
And the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI.
Dude, what is this? Why are they all talking over each other? Holy moly.
And yet, I'm wondering now, if your house is burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters
you
are?
can respond and then...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women.
Why is that relevant at all? I mean, very cool, but why is that relevant whatsoever?
So let me be clear.
Let me be crystal clear in giving a dumb argument to a statement that you just made that is totally valid about what we're experiencing right now. Let me throw out this random survey study that says that black women are the most educated in this country.
I love it. Random statistics are always the
country, which again has nothing to do with what he said. And
it's like, dude, do you really care if the person pulling you out of a fire is straight or gay? Well, let me make something clear. Per capita, Jewish noses are bigger than every other race of noses combined. That is a fact. Let me be clear here for a second. Do you know why Jews have such big noses? It's because air is free, and they want all the air for themselves. Did you know that in a dire situation, when there's smoke inhalation on the line, it's the Jewish noses we should be looking out for? That's true.
And if we're going to judge people on the basis of their education, which is not everything you need when it comes to being a firefighter, and we'll get to that in
100%, like literally 1,000,000,000%. Bro, I'm incredibly good at calculus, which is why I'm a good firefighter. Retard, can you pick up a bag of potatoes?
just a moment, then the metric you have for choosing people should be education, not whether or not they're black and they're female. But no,
True. Also true. So if you're saying that it's all about the education, then again, the diversity part literally doesn't even matter.
nonetheless, she throws out this fact as if it's just meant to be taken up and it's meant to just sweep under the rug everything that we're experiencing in the city of Los Angeles right now. Make it make sense.
It'll never make sense because there is no argument. It's an objective fact. This is truly and utterly an objective fact. It's an objective fact that this is an insane thing to be looking into. It really is. It really is. It's like saying that, listen, there are a lot of disabled people out there that are paralyzed from the neck down, that don't get opportunities at being neurosurgeons. So today, we are including one person disabled from the neck down to be a neurosurgeon. Damn sucks if he's your neurosurgeon, but it will be important.
And just so she knows, intelligence is not all you need when you're a firefighter. You need stamina, you need a brute force, you need a lot of strength.
You also need to be of exactly the same race and ethnicity of the person you are saving from the fire. Unless, of course, it's their fault that they are in the fire.
And sometimes women are capable of doing that job, and kudos to every single firefighter, male or female, that is out there right now fighting these fires in Los Angeles. You are brave, and we appreciate every single ounce of work that you are
we hate the system. We don't hate the firefighters.
putting in right now in your underfunded, understaffed, and overworked departments. But we can talk about that a little later. Maybe I digress on that point. This does not substantiate diversity, equity, and inclusion being implemented all across the city of Los Angeles. But still, she's going to go on and make an argument for the practice. Let's keep watching.
Oh, here we go.
Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the
Because you are a woman.
right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something. That has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified.
If they're qualified, then they are qualified. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Bro, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of black firefighters. Like, a lot. Like, unironically, a huge amount. And no one has ever complained about it.
And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all.
She is not one of those educated black women that she was talking about earlier. Like, she was talking about educated black women earlier, but she was not referring to herself in that group.
I didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we've been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas. We are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people...
He's literally not saying that black people shouldn't be firefighters. He's saying the firefighters need to actually be strong, and saying that you're hiring gay women to be firefighters instead of, you know, strong men or whatever. Like, that's insane, obviously. Like, holy moly. As a black woman, I'm embarrassed. I would be too. Not gonna lie. This is insane.
Actually,
dude, his face is me at this point. Just
like, she's digging her own grave. How do you even take this seriously?
sitting there, just duking it out. And he's about to give a damn Jim in the Office look to the camera at this point, because what are you talking about? These emotional arguments about your blackness and slavery and the building of the United States and immigrants and the White House have nothing to do with the issues that we are.
Are you complaining that the fire department was defunded for $17 million in the last year? Well, sounds to me like you are discussing things like immigration when we should be talking about human lives.
Experiencing right now in this city and in the United States, in the West at large, when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you don't want this,
I would be okay with a 6'4" black gay guy pulling me out of a fire as long as he pulls me out. Dude, 100%. Like, that's the thing. People like to twist these arguments as much as they can, but it's the idea that you need a certain quota of people from different backgrounds is insane. You literally just need a skill set. The end. No matter where the skill set comes from.
to be about being a woman or being black or being lesbian, as has been the case for the Los Angeles Fire Department, then take those things out and judge people based on their qualifications. And that's not what DEI is about. DEI is not about opening the playing field for all those who meet the standard. It is about giving preferential treatment to people of certain identity characteristics because we want more diversity. And we've heard it from the LAFD fire chief.
I'll be honest, I think, I don't even think that's true. I think what DEI was supposed to do originally, like on in a utopic world, DEI was supposed to say that there is objectively racism that happens. All right, objectively there are racists. Now, racists should not be allowed to just not hire people from diverse backgrounds because they're racists. So DEI was supposed to be some way to combat that. But what DEI has become is replacing people that are capable with people that are less capable because they fit in that quota. And that's insane.
Herself. We've clearly heard it from this assistant fire chief in the video that we just watched. It's important to see people who look like me. And when Scott Jennings says that comes at the burden of our entire city, all the residents in it, and of white men who also want these jobs, he is 100% correct. You don't believe me? Look up the stories of people who have tried to make it into the LAFD and have been rejected, and they can track it as being because of their race and because of the implementation of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Okay? But let's see if she has anything else to say.
Yeah, no, she's definitely cooking, 100%. Yeah, no. We need white men to control the 170-mile-per-hour winds. True, exactly. Only white men could do that.
That makes even an ounce of sense.
Yeah, no, but the craziest thing is the fact that her argument is coming like from this place and a historical background. No one was putting down black people for this. Okay, that is literally not the argument against DEI in the fire department. The argument against DEI in the fire department is because you're replacing people with skills with people that don't have those same skills because they fit a quota, and that's obviously insane. That is putting people's lives at risk because you're playing woke chess.
Because so far we've heard nothing.
Decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable.
Literally, no one's saying that only white men are the ones that are capable. Like, this is such an insane, absolutely mind-bogglingly insane argument. No one is saying only white men are capable. That is not the argument that I think any person is having right now.
Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
Oh.
Yeah, but not at pulling me out of a fire! No offense. The woman rambles for like literally an hour, listing off the most insane amounts of random garbage tangents, actively fighting ghosts in front of us, and says, I'm a capable black woman. Bro, what are you talking about, lady? What are you saying? How do they get these people to actually tell the news? These are the people that are propagandizing the world, all right? This is, your woke uncle is watching CNN right now, all right? And he's agreeing with this lady, all right? I'm just saying. This is insane. She cannot even cook, bro. She's not cooking. She is not cooking.
You could not get a worse representative for diversity, equity, and inclusion than this. Her very arguments are to me so telling that diversity, equity, inclusion is not the way to move forward. She is not.
No, but also the fact that she thinks that she's just as capable of being a firefighter. Like, that is her argument, is saying, like, you're really saying that black people can't be competent when you have me? It's like, the argument is for pulling people out of fires. Lady.
Not made a single valid argument this entire time, and she speaks to her own capability as a black woman and the capability of the 2 other black women at the table around her, when her capabilities were never being called into question. But she's made it about herself, as so often these woke leftists do, because at the end of the day, it is about them and their identity. It is not about anybody else.
Yeah, it's not about firefighters saving people. It's about the firefighters being felt like they're inclusive. It's about different people feeling they want their comeuppance in the world and stuff. The whole situation is cringe.
And when Scott Jennings says this brings down white men, it brings down the residents who are experiencing these tragedies, he's 100% right. It's just an uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to hear at this moment. And it's not to label any group of a specific identity or racial characteristic as being incapable. It is just to say that identity characteristics and
should not carry them.
That racial group should not be brought in as a metric for judgment 100%. When we are trying to figure out your capabilities.
Literally facts. Like, this is 100%, all right? You should not be racist when you're employing people but that doesn't mean you have to replace people that could do a job with people that can't do that job. Oh my God.
And if the LAFD fire chiefs and assistant fire chiefs happen to be white women lesbians or biracial lesbians and they're there because of their capabilities, by all means, I will cheer them on. When you lead the conversation with saying I'm a woman and a lesbian, or I'm a biracial woman, lesbian, we've lost a little bit. Lead with your capabilities then. And in the case of the fire chief that's getting a lot of flack online for having pushed diversity, equity, inclusion within the LAFD.
Yeah, this is unironically, I feel like it's this, because I have people in my chat that I think are, I got right-wing people in here, I got left-wing people in here, I got all sorts of people with all sorts of wings. This is insane. This is actually insane, and I think everyone could basically agree that when you want a firefighter that is actually able to lift you out of the building, okay? You want a firefighter that is physically capable, unironically. You want a physically capable firefighter to show up when you call them. And if you have someone that is employing people not based on that simple characteristic of physically capable, then that is insane. Insane. I think we can all come together here and recognize this is wokenessing too close to the sun. Like, literally, this is wild.
I think she has like 22 years experience as both an engineer and a firefighter. Why don't you lead with that? And why are you more subservient to your own agenda and your own ideology than you are to your job and to helping the people of Los Angeles?
I'll be honest. I think woking too close to the sun is a valid example. It's a valid argument to be made, for sure. Because it really calls into question what this fire chief's purpose is. It looks like to me, all right, someone who is not in the middle of a fire right now, but it looks to me like this fire chief's priorities are a lot more to include more diverse people in the fire department than to actually save people's lives. Unironically, that is what it looks like to me. Just saying that we're hiring people and don't worry, they'll be of a diverse background just like you is insane.
Riddle me that.
I'm not. I'm just simply saying that as a matter of public policy in California, the main interest in the fire department lately has been in DEI programming and budget cuts, and now we have this.
Are we really? But Scott, are we
He speaks for like 2 seconds, and like they all jump on him. Oh my God.
really blaming the fire department? The people in the LA fire
No,
department.
I'm blaming the
right?
Democrats who
No,
hate
but
it.
the fire department right now, they are dealing with a historic fire. Okay,
And they have terrible
that is,
leadership.
That is
Political
caused
leadership.
by climate, by the fact
I don't
that
know
it
that-
is
I don't know
extremely
that.
in the state of California,
Oh,
and they are
Goodness.
fighting it in.
I love how no one ever actually has this argument. No one has this argument like normal people. I feel like every time I see two people discussing these things, they are literally on different wavelengths. It's like the white man speaks for 2 seconds, they immediately shut him up.
Tropical force winds in that state.
Yes, it's bad. True. It's like, A, there is a tragedy going on. B, the response to the tragedy is shit because of the systems that ran the response teams. Now, the first, and then the lady basically says, are you really not talking about how the tragedy is happening? It's like, what are you saying? Literally, what are you talking about?
Just to clear the air, make sure nobody is confused here. Scott Jennings is not blaming firefighters who are in full force coming out to save
obviously.
the lives of those who are living here
It's
in.
all one fault, and that fault belongs to the smeltfish. If the smeltfish would have always been extinct a long time ago, California wouldn't have decided to reroute a lot of their water away so that the smeltfish could survive. For those of you unaware of the smeltfish drama is insane, and I covered it in my previous video. Definitely look into my previous video where I covered Trump covering the smeltfish situation. Smeltfish situation is insane. This is so cringe. I can't believe people are actually making this argument. It's like, you could literally come up point blank and say to these people, like this CNN people, it's like, listen, CNN people, do you think it's better to have a firefighter that is capable or a firefighter that is not capable but gay? What do you think is more important for a firefighter? And these people will dance around the topic saying, there are tropical force winds! There are winds! The Jewish space lasers are controlling the winds! And it's like, bro, just literally answer the question.
In Los Angeles. Nobody is blaming the fire department in itself. We are pointing out structural issues. We are pointing out leadership issues.
It's like, how can you point out a structural issue? Is the structural issue the one that started the fire? And it's like, oh my God, these people are literally so brain dead. They literally don't want to answer the question. It's so so obvious. It's so obvious that this is a problem. It's so obvious that this is cancer. The DEI thing is an actual cancer in the system in regards to how they're hiring people. And instead of actually discussing that, they're like, why would you bring this up? It's not the gay people that started the fire. It's not the gay people burning down Los Angeles. It's like, holy moly. Holy balls. Holy moly balls.
We are pointing out ideologically based issues that may have made this situation far worse than it ever had to be.
True. No one's saying that it's the gay people that started the fire, okay? That is not the argument. Oh, so if it was all white people, the fire wouldn't have started? Okay, retard.
And it is within city leadership, it's within state leadership, it's even with federal leadership when it comes to the agendas that are just being injected into every single thing that we do, especially here in the city of Los Angeles. And these things are responsible. They play a part in the tragedy that hundreds of thousands of people are now being subjected to. And a lot of this stuff could have been dealt with so much better had we been maybe laying the stones on a path towards, I don't know, common sense.
No, honestly, there's only one appropriate take. There is only one take that needs to be said, okay? This is the only correct opinion.
Have been injured.
Wait, hold on. Chat, what if they, instead of putting retardant and hoping, why don't they just bomb the outer line?
Yo!
Like a line of bombs.
Yo!
Say, fuck it.
Dude!
A bunch of bombs.
He's so right!
And when the fire gets there, it's
Oh my
just
God.
soil.
Yo! Yes, carpet bombing LA would have been the solution all along. I completely condone this.
Logic, instead of wasting time and resources on DEI trainers and programs and hires for the LAFD.
Every penny that went into DEI is a penny that could have gone into actually stopping fires. I think that every penny that went into DEI is actively a penny that could have been used to save people's lives. I know that this is kind of a cringe take. I know maybe it's extreme in its own way, but this is not something that should have ever been discussed, especially when it comes to saving people's lives, like firefighters. Like, dude, do you want a paramedic that the paramedic isn't as good as the other paramedic, but don't worry, they'll have the same background as you? Like, all of it. It's insane.
But if we're not able to have the conversation, nothing will get done. And it begs the question, you know, as hundreds of thousands of people are experiencing this in Los Angeles, are we learning our lesson?
Yes. Yes, we are. Because even though the CNN brain dead mega woke people are not, and even though the extreme nutcases, the Gavin nuisance, the Gavin that is the nuisance in LA is not, and all these people are not gonna learn the lesson, their breed is dying out. Their ilk is running dry. I'm gonna be incredibly hot take here. Prepare for the hottest of takes. The Zuck got cucked. Zuckerberg gave up. And he is, undoing censorship on Facebook. Even he knows the tides are changing. The tides are changing. The counterculture is becoming the culture. We are living at a really wild point in history. And, give it some extra time. Definitely give it some extra time, and the pendulum will swing the other way. And then eventually, you're going to have complete psychos on the other side. But, down with the insanity, baby.
There's an argument to be made that after this, there's going to be a huge wave of support in the other direction.
There is. You don't realize what you're doing here. Bro, I have a terrible meme to make. This is a meme that I don't think anyone's made because I don't think people are brave enough to make this joke. All right? I'm just saying. I don't think people are brave enough to make this joke. So I will. I need a map of California on fire, though. This is more important. I need a map of California on fire to make this joke. Bro, look, guys, don't cancel me, all right? If you're watching this, you have to promise you're not canceling me, all right? You have to promise you're not going to cancel me for this joke. It's just too funny. We have to say it, all right? Guys, if you find this joke funny, you have to leave a like and subscribe, okay? I'm just saying, because I'm taking a big risk here. Guys, California is becoming a red state in real time. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to. Oh God, 3rd-degree burns from that one. Oh shit. Sorry, I had to do it. I'm so sorry. I had to do it. Someone had to do it. I guess it had to be me.
Opposing DEI, and there has been brewing in this country a huge wave in that direction for quite some time.
There is. Everyone's gonna be cooked. I'm curious to see, because all these people that are like getting their lives destroyed and houses burnt, who, by the way, I feel terrible for all of them. The fact that those people know that their taxes paid for a government that is actively cucking the fire department when they know a massive fire is coming. Like, bro,
some time. We witnessed it in the 2024 election. But is this enough? Can we bring out our boards and connect the dots enough to make the case that this ideology is no good? And especially,
I don't think that the ideology is no good. I think the ideology is cancer. I think it is actually cancer. You are sacrificing skills, talent, art, everything for the sake of, something that isn't really a solution anyway.
especially no good for the city of Los Angeles, to where people will hear it, connect the dots themselves and go, you know what, we need to move in a different direction because this is not working right now. And we have totally capable leaders who are connecting the dots, pointing out different things that we can do within the fire department.
That's a ridiculous thing to say, Amala Obi-Wan Kenobi, because didn't you know that black women are objectively the most educated group of people in the United States? She's a classic anti-education nut. You can't listen to what she says.
With our infrastructure, with our handling of the city, with our water supply, that could dramatically change this in the future.
Yeah, but obviously we don't want to risk the smelt fish, okay?
If we were to ever be met with a natural disaster like this one again, are we ready to listen? And if not,
I think so. I think more and more people are listening, to be honest. I really do. I really, really do.
What else do you need to happen before you wake up and realize that the powers that be in the city and the citizens that are upholding the hierarchy that exists with the powers that be,
damn,
we're not doing the right thing. And maybe it's time for new leadership.
I don't know. It's definitely weird. It's always wild because whenever we get into like the big red versus blue debates, it's always like the red satanic pedophiles versus the blue satanic pedophiles. And I do have to say, it's very fun for me, someone who's sitting in the, as I like to call it, the butthole of chaos. It's going to be the title of my new book. Book is coming out soon. It's going to be great. Definitely keep your eyes tuned for my new book, The Butthole of Chaos. Everyone needs a book. I'll be real here. I don't know what it's going to take for some people to change their minds. I think some people are so deep in their echo chamber brain rot propaganda pool that none of them actually have any idea about the other perspective at all. Literally.
And maybe that new leadership should not be focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion because it hasn't done a whole hell of a lot for us. In fact, it's doing and bringing a lot of hell for us, literal hell for us, it seems, in Los Angeles.
I mean, it really is. It really is. I mean, we're living in a world where here you have a biracial woman with 2.34 million subscribers on YouTube. She's very successful, having nothing to do with DEI. Obviously, I'm not saying racism doesn't exist, but DEI is just more racism, and that will never be the conclusion. It'll never be a solution. It is a failure.
So something to marinate on, something to think about. And if you think that diversity, equity, inclusion is truly about bringing the best candidates, regardless of race,
it's not. It's not. It's such an objective falsehood. Saying that DEI is about getting the best candidates no matter the race is wrong, because it's always about getting the best candidates. That's what anyone would ever do. Why wouldn't someone hire the best candidates unless they're racists, right? Like, what would they do? They would always hire the best candidates. But by putting some artificial quota on it, they are using racism, this time against white guys, so it's okay, to force people to hire less qualified people. Yes.
Race, then why don't we bring the best candidates regardless of race? And why do I have a video of the assistant fire chief literally saying she is incapable of pulling a man out of a fire and it is his fault that she's incapable?
I completely agree with her sentiment earlier. I want her to say that if a woman gets raped, then why was she in the position to get raped? I definitely want to see. I want to see the fire chief make that argument and see how it goes.
We're truly bringing in the best candidates through diversity, equity, and inclusion. Maybe this is an outlier, and I know for sure this doesn't speak for all the other female firefighters that I have witnessed with my own eyes out here in Los Angeles. But for those that it does speak for, what do we do about that? And is that a problem to you? Let me know in the comments down below.
Yeah, well, anyway, all in all, I have a very humble opinion about it. They need to fire this firefighter person immediately, this chief of fire staff person. This one that says that pulling people out of a fire is, like, irrelevant because they shouldn't have gotten into the fire in the first place.
And that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Which is the most mind-bogglingly awful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This person needs to be replaced immediately. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this new wave of cancel culture. Counterculture, rather. I'm just saying. May the slop continue. I am enjoying my day. I hope you are enjoying yours. If you are in California, you are probably not. That's unfortunate, and it sucks. And there's nothing I can really do about that. Let's end racism and reverse racism, because that is just more racism. All right, listen, I'm just saying, to everyone that voted people like this in, you are unfortunately, in the most harshest of ways, reaping what you sow. And I'm sorry. Stay lit out there, unless you're in California. That's not how I should have ended the video. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.